Recently, I was going through all of Berserk and rereading it, and I found a chapter that I absolutely adored, and I wanted to highlight it, and it's probably not the chapter that you're thinking of. There's a whole bunch you could be thinking of. It's not any of them. I'm talking about Bubbles of Futility. Hopefully I can explain some of the symbolism that I see and the reasons why I really like it. The chapter opens with Guts looking upon Casca on the boat that they just seized to go to the fairy island. And when he looks at Casca, it kind of blurs out something that he's been struggling with is controlling himself before he even got the berserk armor. So now with the berserk armor, he's kind of off the rails. He's not currently wearing it, but when he looks at Casca, he kind of freaks out a little bit. And you can see that he's disappointed in himself. Beautifully, at the same time, we get multiple character interactions, the most interesting of which is the astral projection of two of our characters, Farnice and the witch. While this is going on, Roderick comes out to talk to Guts. And I don't know about you guys, but I thought Roderick was going to be a total dick when he was introduced. I thought bro was a bad guy. Like, there's no shot Prince Charming over here is going to be a good dude, but it seems alright so far. Roderick decides to talk to Guts. And what do they talk about? But what Casca means to Guts, which we already got a little bit of a hint towards the drama as Guts watches Casca from afar and has a reaction. During this conversation, Casca gets distracted by a bird and is climbing off in the distance. As the gentlemen watch from afar and Casca is getting further away from them, unbeknownst to them, I was going to come in and say, you should subscribe. Here's the chart that shows that 99% of my viewers aren't subscribed, that people always show. Wow, that's a crazy big number. You should subscribe. I'm still under 10 videos on this channel, but I'm working on it, and I really like some of the recent ones that I've done. I've done like 4 videos on Berserk, whole bunch on Dark Souls, so subscribe, check those out. And thank you so much for watching. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Unbeknownst to them, the astral projection ladies that kind of have a thing for Guts are listening, and the tension is becoming too great. As Guts is about to answer, they both wake up because they got too distracted. Which is, it's just like a funny like build up. I mean, Guts is the coolest dude that they're ever gonna meet, so of course they're like, that's my boy. Another added bonus to this scene is Guts hasn't really been very forthcoming with his past to any member of his new gang, so they don't know what Casca is to him. And with everything that happened with Griffith and the eclipse before Casca lost her mind, we don't know what Guts would even say, of course. Like, we as the viewer don't know what he would say. Of course, we'd probably think that he would say, she's my lover, she's my boo thing, she's my girlfriend, but it's clearly more complicated than that. And that's kind of what the chapter is getting towards. So with Farnice and the witch waking up in their cabins because they were startled, too nervous to hear the answer of what Guts says about what Casca is to him, Casca gets in a little bit of trouble, which of course means Guts has to run over to rescue her before he can answer. Even more tension, still leaving Guts' past in the past, not bringing it into his new group of friends. Casca runs further away from Guts. At this point in the story, she's actually scared of him, and he is begging her to come back. Of course, because there is this, you know, dangerous situation going on, but it also kind of symbolizes what's going on with them emotionally. Bro really wants Casca to come back. He's reaching out, but she's climbing further and further away from him, and eventually gets to a point where she's cornered and she jumps away. Guts is able to grab her, but she slips out of his grasp, a grasp specifically with his metal arm. So Casca falls into the water, and Guts, of course, jumps right into the water to save her. And it's almost as if right when he caught up to Casca to bring her back, she slips out of his grasp. I wonder if that happens later in the story. Probably not. I wouldn't worry about it. So Guts bravely jumps into the water where he goes to save Casca, and he gets to reminisce about all the other times Casca has needed saving from him, which usually involves water. And the author makes a great little reference to that, and he shows all their like past dealings where Casca tries to like jump off a waterfall or has a battlefield issue and Guts has to save her. And then we get this really cool panel where we see Guts's berserker vision and the eclipse kind of melded together. Really cool visual that I think is pretty dope. We find out that Guts risked his life for Casca, probably wasn't going to be able to save her alone, and the gang actually are the ones that get Casca and Guts after he risked everything to save her from the water. From there, we find out everything's fine. Guts is just in bed, which he is for a lot. Like, the cycle of the story is Guts goes absolutely crazy on a bad guy, gets super hurt, then has to put on the armor again so he doesn't feel pain, and gets even more hurt, and then goes back to bed. It just happens when you're a powerhouse and all you have is the berserk armor, I guess. So he is back in bed healing, thinking about what just happened, reminiscing, and we get this absolutely banger kind of realization. It almost feels like foreshadowing / the theme that what seems to be going on through all of this later part of Berserk, where Guts has forgotten that he replaced his arm, and he realizes that it is different. And he says, even if you force back what is lost, it still won't be the same as it was. Talking about his arm, as well as talking about Casca. What I really like about this is the whole mission, Guts' whole purpose in life is to restore Casca's memories, to get her back, because she's literally all he thinks about and obsesses over. But in a way, he is forcing it back. She lost her mind, and he's going on this journey to get it back. And something that you just learn in life is you can't force relationships, you can't force someone to like you, you can't force someone to love you, you can't force someone to do pretty much anything. All you can do is control yourself, and this whole mission is Guts trying to force Casca back. And it is noble, and I think we can agree with Guts, and we want him to succeed. This is not some creepy guy trying to force a girl to date him. This is a dude trying to get his friend's mind back, which was completely stolen from her. But I love the message of, even if you force something back, it won't be the same as it was. And it kind of harpens back to the saying that you'll never run into the same river twice. I don't know if you guys have heard that, but basically, even if you go to the same river every single day, it's different water, it's different fish, the water is always changing, and you'll never find the same person twice. Even if you hang out with your best buddy Todd one day, a year later you hang out with Todd again, he's gonna be a different person. That's just how it works. He's got new memories, new experiences, new life lessons, new thoughts, and he might basically be the same, but you're never gonna meet the same person twice. You're never gonna find the same river twice, and Guts is never gonna get the same Casca twice. So I think this chapter just does a really great job of symbolizing a lot of future and past stuff in the story, condensing it into one really cool chapter. And I read it, I saved it, and now I'm telling you about it. Also, I'm guessing if you watch this that you've read the manga, and I'm wondering, what were your thoughts when you read this chapter? Were you just blasting through because it's the boat arc and you don't care? Did you read it and think it was significant? Did you read it and just kind of think whatever? I don't know. For me, it's the only chapter of the entire manga that I saved because I specifically wanted to talk about it. And of course, there's like epic stuff going on the entire time. So, I don't know. Clearly, it was important to me when I was reading it. Anyway, I've been all over Clover. I hope you have a fantastic day. Check out this video.